Jacoby, a lot of changes around here. First-time head coach. Just take me into what's impressed you so far.
I would say it's communication. Since I've been back and since he's been here, just being able to his message as far as how he sees the team this year, day to day, how we're going about our business. I think his communication has been through the roof. And when guys come out on the field, we go into meetings, we know what's being asked of us and what he's looking for.
Congrats on the new deal. I know it took a little time to get there. How do you feel right now? New offense, all the changes here with just a month to go before your first game.
Excited. I think. Obviously getting the deal done and then being immersed in the offense and being back around the guys and being in the flow of things, it's been going well. Learning the new system and being able to learn from LaFleur and his staff and finding out how this thing's going to work out this year. I think my not only my excitement but the guys around me, the team's excitement for this year is through the roof.
Now that you have been in this new offense, and obviously I know you were there in the spring too, but now that you've been in this new offense, you get an understanding of what it's going to be like. How is it going to be different for you, like, on the field? Like, how are you going to see, like, are you going to be in better position? Is it going to change the way you approach things? What's it going to be like?
No, I think every week that's different, as far as what's quote-unquote being asked of you. Obviously, is to score more points in the defense. But I think the biggest difference is going to be the guys calling the plays, and that's what we have training camp for. That's where we're going through a lot of these live situations and trying to, before we get to the first game of the season, put us in those situations where, me and him are, like, clicking a little bit faster than need to be. So I think that's the most exciting thing is just being able to learn more I'm going into year 11, so being able to learn, more each year.
Part of being a quarterback loves to drop back and throw it every snap. You had to do a little of that last year. The other part of us likes to have that pressure off of us a little bit. And so I look this year and go, you had all those injuries at running back. Man, now your running back room is stacked with James and Tyler and Jeremiah. How do you see that running back room playing out this year?
I think that's the biggest excitement for me is being able to the guys that we have and the explosiveness of those guys, all, three of those guys, and then you obviously getting Trey Benson back. You got a lot of those guys have that room shakes up. Those guys, you give them the ball one time and they can go to the house, So excited to see how that unfolds. It's been in this system and seeing the different things that we're doing with those guys. It's going to be a lot of excitement to, kind of take a play off, I would say.
Generally we'll ask the quarterbacks we talk to about the receivers. I'm not going to do that here. I want to ask about your pass catchers because you have one of the best tight ends in the NFL as well with Trey McBride. You add him to, you got Mike, obviously you got Marv. Take me through some of your playmakers, your pass catchers, what you've seen so far in training camp and how this offense can maybe help them.
I think he is the best tight end in the league, but I think the most impressive thing as far as our group is how selfless they've become in the new system. Guys being able to understand the detail of, like, hey, you might have to run this guy off, and the detail of, just keep your head down and run. And that's coming to fruition every day out on the field. And I think with that, then you're able to, like, see the talent that we have in the different guys as far as Mike, Marv, Trey, Elijah, our running backs in the pass game. We got a couple guys that we signed in free agency and in the offseason that I think are going to make a lot of plays for us this year. So excited to see how that room unfolds as well.
Take me into Marv a little bit because, we talk about, see it around the league all the time. As guys drafted high, everybody expects them to be a superstar in day one. And we all know it's a transition in this league, and you've got to learn some things. What have you seen from Marv from a growth standpoint this year?
I think somebody that has worked to get better every day. He's never too high, he's never too low, and he's just finding ways every day to perfect his craft. And, he has that in him. He wants to be a perfectionist, and his ability to come out and work, despite the outside noise, I think has been the most impressive thing because, honestly, it doesn't show on the field. You get one highlight of something, but I'm like, he's had 6 catches that day. So things like that just don't get, publicized as much, but he doesn't care. He just wants to go out there and work hard and put us in the best position when we get his number called.
I just want to kind of, I know we got to go here, but I want to finish here just because my career, I had some ups and downs. Starter, found myself on the bench. I know your career has been much like that. How appreciative are you of another opportunity to be the guy behind center and to be the starter?
I never take it for granted, it's hard, it's hard to put into words how much it means to you because you just want to relish the moment. And you want to just be in the moment. I'm very fortunate, obviously, for the opportunity, but also the guys that on my team that believe in me. And I think that means more to me than anything. And they know that. I try to, relay that to them based on how I prepare, how I practice, and how I approach the game. And I'm just excited for this opportunity, but also excited to get to work with the guys.
Last thing, Jacoby. The Hall of Fame game was last week. It was fun and actually really exciting, and we saw a really good performance from your teammate Carson Beck. A whole great performance for offense in general, but him specifically, what did you see? What did you like?
First game in the NFL. I don't think it didn't look like it was his first game. I thought he played really well. Especially with what we asked him to do, and I'm not like the talent evaluator. You know what I mean?
True.
But
that's fair.
From in the quarterback room, I thought he played well. I thought Keaton came out and played well. I think those guys really handled the offense really well and put us in the best position to make plays.
Love it. Well, appreciate you, my man. Best of luck to you this season. Can't wait to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Coach, appreciate a little bit of time here. I'm always interested when a guy becomes a first-time head coach or comes to a new place. What's the first thing you try to establish here in the organization?
The relationships, obviously not just around the building and all that, but obviously with the players right away. And so there was a lot that needed to get done back on whatever it was, February 1st. And you just go, and so you don't think anything of it. But when you really reflect, particularly in the summer, like, wow, there was a lot of stuff that had to happen. You had to hire the staff and go through the interview process and all that. But first and foremost, it was about building those relationships, getting to know, player 1 through 90, and then kind of go from there and just be authentically yourself. And I think that sometimes can be as good as anything, as opposed to just popping a bunch of culture stuff at them right away. So
it's such a long process to go through. I mean, you got playoffs, you got interviews, get hired, coaching staff, meet all the new players, build the relationships like you said. Was there a moment this summer when you take a deep breath and say, like, all right, I am a head coach. This is kind of cool. Did you take a moment to appreciate before to kind of like get to work?
I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, it's like I try to live just by the day and whatever needs to get done that day. Now, I'll be honest with you, I had points in the summer where I did get to put my feet up and not think about anything, so I probably wasn't even trying to think about being a head coach. And then you wake up the next day, you go, oh crap, I got a lot of stuff to do, even though you are on vacation, whether it's talk to Monty or just reach out to some of the guys. But no, I mean, hey, listen, it's a dream, no doubt, and being with this franchise, I've been very open about it. Like, this is a place that is meant a lot to me for one reason or another. And I have the stories from COVID. I have the stories from the playoff game here when we played Minnesota in 24. So there's a lot of different things right there. But it's been neat, but a lot of work to do.
Let's go to the other side of it. Obviously, you're close with a lot of really good head coaches in this business, whether it be your brother or Sean or Kyle. Has there been a moment here early in camp where something's come up and you're like, I don't know what I should do here, and you had to hit speed dial to one of those guys and give them a call?
Yeah, they're all on the old favorites list there on the left side. So whether they want to hear it or not, and typically, I mean, we're all pretty busy. Like one FaceTime, maybe you let that thing go if you're busy, but if you give them that second one within 5 minutes, typically, unless they're crazy busy, they're going to answer. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be some things a little bit more serious than others in terms of what we should do with this, that, or the other, in terms of practicing and all those kind of things. Yeah. It's the stuff that you're just like, wow, I really have to answer that. Like, where do you want the whiteboards and what markers do you want? And it's like, put the whiteboards on the wall and markers that work. Like, someone make a decision right there. Right. We got more important decisions. Yeah. Got to figure out how many balls we want to have Kurt throw today, or how many times we're going to hand it off. Right.
So you guys you played in the Hall of Fame game, and it's it's the preseason, it is what it is, but it's also the first time that the entire country could see you as a head coach and see your team. You guys looked good. The operation looked smooth. What did you learn about your team, and what did you think of the win-loss? Who cares? But what did you think about the product that you put on the field?
I was proud of them. It just is a good stamp of a reminder of you get what you emphasize, and what we've emphasized to them is everything that takes zero talent, how you operate, and your play style. And I thought both those came to life. And again, you have a 3.5 hour window to show that, each week leading up to it, really just by each practice, that always has to come to life. And when it doesn't, I think I have an obligation to hold them to a standard and let them know this isn't it or this is it, So in that 3.5 hour window, I did think that came to life. I thought that was pretty cool. But like I told them right after the game, win, lose, or draw, it's just back to work, and so we had to get going back with it. And to be quite frank, I didn't think we practiced the way that we were capable of when we came back, and they got that fixed for the next one, and we'll finish out the block here.
We are in overreaction business, and so Carson Beck played really well in the Hall of Fame game, and now everybody's like, start him right away. I know we need to relax, but I just want to know what you've seen from him beyond that game in the early stages, with him being a third-round pick for you.
Yeah, I think kind of what I just said, for a quarterback, what is the play style? I mean, it's being aggressive, but just not reckless, right? Yep. It's not trying to run someone over. We know that's just reckless. So that's a whole different sort of play style. But from an operations standpoint, it was just a continuation of what I've seen from OTAs. He's a very smart dude. Yep. He just it makes sense to him. He can articulate, and it's not just football. Like you can see this guy's smart in a lot of facets of life. So that just kind of showed in that I'd say 2 hour window for him, because obviously Slow has finished that thing off. And I'd be remiss not to say, man, I was proud of him.
Me too.
You talk about a guy that has gotten basically no reps since we've been back here, and to go in there and operate and keep the ball in play. And then you go back to Carson and just live each play, go through your process, pre-snap, go through your rhythm, your timing, your progressions. Keep the ball in play. If they're going to give you the intermediate or deep shot, take your shot, and then go back to the huddle and live that play. I was probably most proud of him, even though he was laughing at me. We fake left, we keep right. There's a strong safety, and I said, hey, just get a little bit of depth. The strong safety comes off the edge right here. Sure enough, pre-snap, he's sitting there, and he could see he's coming. And he said by the time he came out of his fake, he was actually laughing. And I said, well, I wasn't laughing because it was a crap call, but I appreciate you saving us, or at least we could ditch it. So, again, we're not trying to overreact. That was just another day, and we just need to continue to stack those days.